Hello, in this video I want to talk with you about the genius of imperfection. Because if you see nature, and like a tree is beautiful in its way, it has the perfect balance of yin and yang energy, of being symmetric and being a little bit asymmetric, embodying this chaos energy and this structured energy, embodying the stability, the structure and the flexibility. So the wind cannot break the tree easily, because the tree is not resisting. It doesn't have only yin or yang. If it didn't have enough structure, it would be like like this. And if it had only the structure and no flexibility, it would resist the wind and the wind could easier break it. So it's more perfect through this kind of energy that is flexible, that is not perfectly symmetrical. Because if every tree were perfectly symmetrical, I hope I say this word right, then trees would look the same. It would be so boring, and nature shows us that every tree is an individual like we are. And yeah, if we see ourselves with kinder eyes and don't expect us to do everything right, because if we would knew before a decision what is the right decision, then we would make it, didn't we? Don't we? And if we make sometimes a wrong decision, that gives us more clarity what feels better to us, and the next time hopefully we make a better decision. But we grow through the process of experiencing what our values are, because not everybody has the same values. And through the process of making mistakes, we discover what is true for us and what we want to embody. Yeah, and so I was observing a woman who was teaching Chinese people English, and she is so good in explaining everything. She knows so much about the English language, and she explained everything so perfectly to her students. And I was listening to her and observing how she was teaching these people. And I'm teaching English in the moment myself, even if I have not studied enough English to speak English perfectly. But that is exactly the point. I'm teaching English in a way where I teach people who learn the basics, and they need to practice. They need to speak, because Chinese people have learned many things about writing English in a perfect way, listening to English. They've learned that in school. They are good at understanding it theoretically, but they have not practiced speaking. So what they need is the courage to speak and the experience of speaking, and that we listen to them as a teacher. And I don't want to say that she is not doing it in a good way, because she is also doing it in her own way, in a very good way, because I think her students will learn as well very much from her way of teaching. But it was interesting for me to observe how she can explain it so much better than I do, but in the same time she was explaining so much that I had the impression that her students felt like a little bit overwhelmed and could not follow everything, and they had not the space to practice and to speak so much as well, because she was speaking a lot. And then I thought, okay, I'm doing it all right. Even if my English is not perfect, maybe that's exactly what the student that I'm teaching in that moment needs. And that he can also observe, because I show him, if I don't know a word, that it is all right to make a mistake. And I think that is a message that is even bigger and also very important for people, especially for people from China, because they were raised in a way where they needed to do everything perfect as children already, because they needed to study in school and they needed to do it all so perfectly. And to show them, hey, you can relax, it's all right if you make a mistake, is a message in and of itself that is important for them. And so this imperfection can be like the asymmetrical part of a tree that makes it special in a way, make it individual, make it more individual than as if every tree would be in that perfect same shape, both sides the same symmetrical shape, and every tree would look boring. I think you get the message. The main message what I want to give to you through this video is that you are all right. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to try to be perfect. A tree is in a process of growing in the same way as we are. And if this tree has fruits that are not yet ripe, that doesn't mean it is not as worthy as other trees, because the fruits are getting ripe. So if you are not a millionaire yet, if you don't have your family yet, or if you don't have achieved everything that you want to achieve, that doesn't make you less worthy, you know. We are in a process, and we are allowed to be in that state where we are right now. And it is good that we focus on our goals and our development, but in a way where we are kind to ourselves and where we see that we are valuable all along, all the time, every step on the way. If you would like to book a coaching, you find my details in the description. I help people who want to get more fulfilled inside, who have maybe everything on the outside, like success and money on the outside, but who wants to feel more fulfilled from the outside, no, from the inside. And I teach people how to get happier and how to become the best version of themselves, and how to understand life and themselves better. If you're interested in that, write me a message and then we can connect